All right. Feels good to be back. It's been a
It's
while,
been, it's
right?
been so long.
Has been
I
a
mean, it
while.
probably hasn't been as long as it feels, but,
It's been a while since like Tanner's been on for sure. I feel like.
well, I don't know about since you both been on.
Yeah.
Definitely been a
Yeah,
while.
I'm trying to think. The last time I was on was probably middle of December. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Christmas
But
and
just in
New Year's
general,
Eve.
like we didn't have an episode last week for sports, so it just
Or
feels
the
like
week before.
yeah, feels like a long time. But we're back.
Yap, yap, yelling at pigeons. Yap, yap, nobody listens. Yap, yap, screaming my vision. Yap, yap, yelling at pigeons.
We're back for the playoffs. Yeah, I was gonna do an introduction, but we don't really do one for this show. So
It's
but we're
Thursday
back.
the 9th.
Yeah, Thursday the 9th. That sounds
Happy
right.
birthday,
Mike-
John.
Yeah, happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday,
guess.
John.
Yeah, when this comes out, I will be in Florida. So
Me
if
too.
it's the 9th today, I might go see the Timberwolves and the Magic. Tempted.
Are you going to sit in the Hennessy lounge?
I don't think they have them in Orlando.
Oh, why did I think it was from Orlando that you were talking about?
Why'd you think what?
That it was in Orlando you were telling me about.
Oh, for the Hennessy. I was going to say, Caleb, I am talking about Orlando. Yeah, no, that was D.C. They called me again yesterday morning.
The
actually.
Hennessy Lounge
And
calls you.
Yeah, no big deal. But
That's kind of crazy.
so I talked about this before, but I inquired about how much it costs to get a Hennessy Lounge at the Wizards game, and I'm thinking, okay, it's not a suite, but it's like a fancy seat, so maybe it's in the price range where I could get a group together and we could go.
Yeah.
And they called me back, and he's like, "What game are you looking for? Like, what team do you want to see?" And I was like, "If I'm being honest, I want to see the Lakers, but I already know that's going to be a pretty penny." So I was like, but I didn't want to seem too poor. So I'm like, that'll probably be a lot. I don't know if my friends are going to be on board for that. So
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah. Blame
so I
your
was like,
friends.
yeah. So I'm like, what's one of your cheaper options? Like, let's just get a range here. What do you? I know the Lakers one of your more high dollar ones. What do you start at? He was like, it looks like this is why you got confused, Caleb, because it was Timberwolves. He's like, looks like the Timberwolves is one of our cheaper ones. I can get you a Hennessy Lounge for $3,500. And I was like, wow, 35, that's all, huh? Well, I'll talk it over with my group. And he's like, I'll call you back in a month. And now they call me back like
Yeah.
every month, and I just don't
Yeah.
answer.
That salesperson is hanging on to that. It'll be the third
Yeah,
Hennessy
yeah.
Lounge
His
sold
boss
all
is like,
year.
yeah, his boss is grilling him. He's like, no, I got this guy, man. Luke on the Eastern Shore. He's going to come through. I know he is. He sounded wealthy
This
on
poor
the phone. He's
guy's
gonna come.
career it might be hanging in the balance right now.
Yep. Waiting on the
Just
Hennessy
stringing
Lounge.
it
How
out.
many people can you get in the Hennessy Lounge?
5.
$700 to watch the
Yeah,
worst
quick
basketball
math.
team in the league.
And to their credit, you do get it's like a 5-course meal or something.
You got to get
But
a bottle
still.
of Hennessy, right?
I would hope so. That'd be
At
very
least
funny if you don't.
Maybe one each.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah,
have
you
to
should
get one.
each get a bottle of Henny, and honestly,
And
they
if
should
you-
pay. They
if
should
everybody
pay you
finishes
like
their bottle.
$700. Yeah, they should
Yeah.
pay you like $700 and give you a bottle of Henny to watch the Wizards.
If
Because
everybody
that's what it
finishes their
takes.
bottle by the end of the game, it's free.
Yeah. That would be electric. But yeah, that was Hennessy Lounges
That's
with the
one way to
boys.
put
So
it.
shout out to Hennessy. Come on the show.
Sponsor
Or the
us.
salesman, come on the show and make your pitch. But yeah, we have playoff football. We have finally reached it. It's a little bit.
Yep.
I feel a little bit melancholy. Is that the word I'm looking for? I think that fits here, because we're here. We're at the postseason. Any given week
end of the year.
is the final week. You know, if your team's in it, and even if they're not, like the season's almost over. And it feels like yesterday we had that first game where Isaiah Likely was only had a toe out, and now it's all coming to an end. But I am
Yeah.
excited for the playoffs, and I'd like to get into it. So I'm going to pull up the schedule here. Unsurprisingly, in their traditional spot that they might be legally obligated to play every year, just write it in. Texans will open up on Saturday afternoon
Saturday afternoon
against
Texans.
the Chargers. Yeah, no one fits that time slot better than the Texans. What do you guys think about this game? Because, quite frankly, I don't think the Texans stand a chance, even hosting. They've been bad.
Yeah, I don't think they stand a shot.
Nice.
And they've looked bad. I mean, as bad as the Steelers have looked the last end of the season, I think the Texans have also looked really bad as well. And the Chargers are getting hot, and it's hard to pick against Harbaugh.
Chargers' secret weapon too. They just signed Ezekiel Elliott. So
Zeke, anytime
Buckle up.
score, gotta be.
buckle up. Yes,
Yes.
I like that. Little charity touchdown for Zeke. Chargers are -3 in this game, which I think I love. I definitely at least like it.
Mm-hmm.
As far as that line goes, me and that line, we like each other, but we're still figuring out, what love is. We'll see.
Yeah,
I might love it.
you're in a situationship.
Yeah. We definitely enjoy me and the -3. We enjoy being around each other, for this game.
He's not
but-
ready to fully commit. I get it.
Yeah. We're just not sure yet. That's all. Over under is 42.5. By the way.
You want to keep yourself open to other lines. You never know what's gonna pop up.
Yeah, there's plenty of lines in the sea, and I might like one of the other ones better.
Oh my god, I'm intrigued by this game. It just feels like a trap to me.
Yeah.
I probably won't bet it. I will be in Vegas for this. I'll be landing at 11, and
Love
Mason
that.
and I are going to be rushing over to the casino, watch
Hopefully
this in
play
the
some
sportsbook,
craps.
play some craps. I've been playing craps all week. I've got it all figured out.
Dude, I've had the craps all week too. Oh.
Yeah,
Bad fish.
I mean, I like Chargers -3. I think if they were at home, obviously you give the 3 points. -6, do they cover that? I don't know. And the Texans haven't looked great. They also haven't played a meaningful game in 3 weeks. I think it is.
Did you say -6?
Yeah. So if you're the away team, if you were to play that team at home,
Okay.
it would be a 3-point swing. So if the Chargers were at home, Texans were on the road.
Okay.
Sorry.
Did not know that. Wasn't aware.
Yeah. So any home team gets 3 points. So on a neutral site, I think this game would be 4.5. But either way, it's just this is a weird one to figure out. It's the only one I don't have a lean on, just because the Chargers, they're a good football team. Obviously, they have good coaching now. Herbert's looked incredible, but the Texans still have a ton of talent. Like I said, they haven't played a meaningful game in a few weeks. I wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And that's where I'm I can't figure it out. Because it could be a good thing where guys have rested up. Mixon hasn't run the ball a ton. Nico's not really getting a ton of targets. Stroud's look awful, but on the flip side, these guys haven't been in high stress moments week in and week out fighting for something in a long time.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Is you talk about mathematically, it's been a couple of weeks since they've had a meaningful game.
Yeah.
But even if you go beyond that, I don't think they've been worried about the Colts for quite some time. They've had the division pretty much on cruise control for a long time at this point.
I don't think they've been worried about a higher seed either. I think it became pretty
they
apparent.
pretty much knew what they were in for halfway through the season. I mean, it's not to say they weren't trying, but they didn't have the stress of if you don't win this, you're going to screw it up, because they're probably we have plenty of time to make up for it.
Exactly. And they honestly, I mean, this side is probably this side of the bracket, this game, and then the Bills, this game and what am I trying to say? I can't say it. They're probably both happy because most likely the winner of this game will play the Chiefs and not the Bills.
Yeah.
And I think both teams, I can envision both teams beating the Chiefs. So I think they're both happy where they are. If I had to lean, I would lean Chargers. Over 42.5 is kind of high. I kind of feel like it's going to be kind of low scoring. Chargers run the ball a lot. Texans
23-17 final score. You heard it here first.
I like that.
Bet that.
Yeah, bet that final score. So I would take the under in this 42.5. So
I like that. Yeah, as someone who obviously is hoping the Chiefs can get bounced, I like the Chargers' odds of beating them better than the Texans.
Yeah.
The Chargers didn't beat them
Texans,
this year, did they?
No. They only lost one game.
Hard
I
to,
can't remember who they lost to. But
Yeah,
they only lost one
yeah.
game.
Oh, true.
hard to beat a good team 3 times.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
true.
I don't know how true that statement is, but I always say it.
No, it's
Ask
true.
ChatGPT.
Stamped. Oh, I do want to point out, we try to bring you guys reliable vibes on this show. Our sources, the vibes, we trust them, and sometimes they're wrong. The vibes did say Jimmy Butler would be traded by Monday.
Yeah.
He was not, but
Yeah.
technically they didn't say which Monday.
Yeah.
So the vibes are still
super random.
saying he's getting moved.
Yeah.
So it just occurred to me. I wanted to apologize for making people think he was getting moved
Yeah.
this early, but yeah, just getting that out of the way, getting ahead of it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all.
Just playing it right in the middle of this segment. Nobody.
Yeah, it just came to me, and I'm like, if I don't say it right now, I'm gonna forget and never address it. So I'm like, let's just
Man, if
pop
only
it in there
was
real quick.
If there was
Get
only
it
a
out of
way of taking a note to write down somewhere so
there's
you could
no
remember
way
it
of
later.
There's no way of doing that. There's no way of doing
so we
that.
could apologize. No way of doing that.
No.
But yeah, should we like make picks on each of the games?
We can. Yeah.
Luke,
You
I know
guys
you're
want
like traveling and stuff, but is there a way you could like put graphics underneath of all of our faces of named teams we pick?
I'm gonna be honest. This week, probably not.
Cool. No, you're
We
good.
could just tweet it out. I mean,
But in the future,
it doesn't have to be a crazy thing, but I think that's a good idea.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
do like the money line, or we could do money line and over or something like that on each game or something, but over under. But that's a good idea because I'm not picking crazy touchdowns this week.
No.
Also, sorry, this just occurred to me, and I will forget it. You hit one, right, Caleb, one of your guys scored that you didn't bet him this week, but one of your long shot anytime touchdowns.
Twice. I've hit 2 of them.
Yeah.
A week or 2 after.
Yeah.
I got
It's a little early.
well, I didn't put Pruitt on my anytime touchdown, but I like texted you guys about Pruitt.
Yeah.
And then Michael Penix.
Michael what?
Michael Penix. Michael Penix. He had a rushing touchdown this week, and I had him 2 weeks ago. So like,
yeah.
seeing the board well. But
I had Mariota early on this season when I didn't think Jaden Daniels was going to play. Daniels played. So I'm just saying it rolls over until Mariota plays again. He did score. So I'm going to claim that as a victory.
yeah, we're seeing the board well.
Yeah. All the way back
Tanner
in week 4.
knew that Mariota was scoring in his next game.
Yeah, we're like That's So Raven. We see the future. Like it's not
There it is.
necessarily this week. We just saw it at some point.
It's a good segue into the next game, I think.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the next
Yeah, Steelers Ravens.
The Steelers are a bad football team
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. They're playing like one.
They're
For sure.
playing like a bad football team. And it's not the defense. The defense is still playing football. Special teams is playing football. The offense, again, is not. Like, I don't know what's happened to Russ. He's just, the moon ball's not there. Him and Pickens are clearly not on the same page. He just missed him for an open touchdown.
Has Pickens had more fights over the past 3 weeks, like scuffles, than he has receptions?
Probably not because he was out, so he didn't fight anybody while he was out, but he also didn't miss the ball while he was out.
I just, just one fight. I figured he'd scuffle with somebody on the sideline.
Yeah.
I think Pickens got like it felt like he was a little salty with Russ for saying they weren't on the same page. But correct me if I'm wrong. When Russ said they weren't on the same page, he was asked about a specific play.
Yeah.
But when Pickens was asked about Russ saying that, I feel like he wasn't paying enough attention to the question and just heard not on the same page. He's like, who said we're not on the same page? And they were like, Russ. He was like, Russ said that?
Well, the reporter he wasn't like, oh, on this play you weren't on the same. He was like, you and Russ aren't on the same page. Like the way he said it was like, you guys just aren't on the same page.
I feel like that's a fair statement to make as well. It's like pretty clear that you haven't been on the same page recently.
Yeah.
Like just a response of, yeah, he's probably right. We got to work on that. Would have probably sufficed, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It would have been like clear to show that you guys are on the same page. If you're like, yeah, we're not on the same page. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah,
crazy as
that's
sounds.
true. Yeah, because him being like, who said Russ said that? Like, you're not even on the same page.
Yeah, you're not on the same page there.
They might not be on the same book. They might
It's
be reading different
possible.
books.
Yeah.
They might be reading different
But
books.
we know this rivalry. We know the AFC North. Like, we know Tomlin versus Harbaugh, especially over the past few years. Like, even when the Steelers have worse teams. And the Ravens haven't performed well in the playoffs. So it's not crazy to think that the Steelers somehow win this game in a low-scoring game.
So I'm going to give you some stats here, Caleb, to try to make you excited, which might be mean because you might get smacked anyway. Because I will preface this, all of these numbers come without Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry changes a lot.
A lot.
So
no, I disagree with that statement. Derrick Henry.
Yeah, not a big impact, really. 1,900 yards. No big
I haven't seen anything on Twitter, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Lamar Jackson has a passer rating of 75.7 with 1,324 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in 6 playoff games. So he has not been good. People will call me a hater for that. I'm not being a hater. The numbers just aren't there in the postseason. Now, numbers don't tell the whole story. He hasn't had a guy like Derrick Henry to help open up the defense. So we could see a different version of playoff Lamar, but historically speaking, he has not been good in the playoffs.
Well,
he has run the ball well in the playoffs with 86 yards per game, but he's fumbling on average once every playoff game, which is 6 games. 3 of those he's lost. So not only does he average 1 interception per playoff game, he's also averaging 0.5 fumbles lost per game. So he has not been good in the postseason at all. But like I said, new year, and especially having Derrick Henry that the defense has to worry about, it should open more things up for him. But it is Pittsburgh's defense, and the defense does play football.
But RG3 said that Lamar is making Derrick Henry better. Derrick Henry's not helping Lamar at all.
I love this discourse because the
why can't they help each other?
Why can't they help each other? The answer is that they're making each other better.
Yeah.
And everyone just wants to pick a side. And in reality, they're helping each other. Having Derrick Henry next to you has opened up so much for Lamar. Statistically, his receivers are more open than they have ever been. They're the most open receivers in football. And then if you're Derrick Henry, having a 2-time MVP, one of the most dynamic players we've ever seen next to you, is opening things up for you.
Yeah.
We've seen Derrick Henry do it.
Reads, 100%.
Yeah, we've seen him do it on his own, but would I assume he would be putting up these numbers if he was still in Tennessee doing it on his own? Absolutely not. So Lamar's helping him as well. I don't know why people have to be so locked into one side or the other. It's very clear they're helping each other out. It's a very good pair.
Yeah.
There is something to watch on this game. Zay Flowers did not practice today. The line this morning, I think, was all the way up to 10.5. It's down to 9.5 now. I think in a very cold, possibly snowy game, there's a chance that it snows here again on Saturday. Or it's already snowed and the field's frozen. That 9.5 is a lot to cover if Zay Flowers isn't playing. So you take him out of the fold. I think this game could stay close. It's all about Pittsburgh dominating the time of possession.
It needs to be run heavy.
Yeah.
It needs to be defensive plays.
You need good Najee.
Yeah,
you need good Najee this week.
But you just need
Najee,
serviceable. You don't need somebody to. You don't need him to rush for 100 yards in the first half, but you do need him to average 4.5 yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I haven't watched a ton of Steelers games. It could go very south very quick.
I was going to say that
down 2 scores and within 3 or 4 possessions, and I wouldn't be totally shocked if Justin Fields replaced Russell Wilson.
Yeah. I was going to say you're lucky for not watching many Steelers games, but then I remembered you're a Jets fan. So
yeah, I haven't been watching those either. But I think this game, again, I'm leaning towards the under on this game. I think this one it's just a lean on the over-under because, all things considered, the Ravens could possibly get there by themselves. They could put up 38, and then you're just looking for 7 from the Steelers. But I just think it's so clear what the Steelers' game plan has to be. They have to run the ball. They have to get the ball to Pickens, and they have to keep it within themselves. They can't sit here and try to play from behind. When they played them the first time, they did a great job of just managing the game, right? Yeah. And as soon as you do that, you put Lamar in that situation where he has to manage the game. Anything is possible, right? He could take the ball 75 yards for a touchdown. So could Derrick Henry. Or he could fumble. Or he could throw an interception, as he's done in previous playoff games with the pressure on. I think that's the one thing I'm looking for the most when I watch the Ravens in this playoffs, Lamar has made it clear that he wants to win, which I think is great.
Yeah.
When in previous situations when he's put that pressure on himself, or it seems that he's pressing, it's kind of going south.
Yeah.
And so this could easily be a game where the Ravens and Lamar, they don't let the game come to them. He's trying to take it by the throat, and the Steelers are just playing hard-nosed, good football, right? They're checking down. They're keeping the ball for more than the Ravens are. And it could easily go under. And it could easily be, like you said, Caleb, a Steelers win or just simply a Steelers cover. I
Yeah.
think the Steelers cover in this game. I'm going to see what the line is when I get to Vegas, but I probably am laying on the Steelers side just because we always talk about it. Rivalry games, especially AFC North. And the game script sets up so well for the Steelers to not get blown out as long as they keep the game in front of them. And with no Zay Flowers over the top, the game's going to be in front of them.
You could have gave me any combination of the AFC North as a wild card playoff game, and I would have talked myself into the underdog, at least for their points.
Yeah.
Would have absolutely talked about. I have a question for you guys, because I think we all would agree John Harbaugh is a fantastic coach, right? But Ravens fans have been critical at times. This year it's been pretty smooth sailing because they're the number 3 seed. But
there were parts, there were spots.
Yeah, there were parts for sure when they started.
0-2. Yeah, I mean there were talks of him leaving.
Yeah, yeah, they're always
as
very
they do
hot
every
with
year.
him. So last year in the playoff game against the Chiefs, the Ravens, the big criticism of them was they only had 6 rushing attempts from running backs in that game.
Mm-hmm.
What number would Harbaugh have to? What's the low number he would have to be under for him to be fired in this game? If Derrick Henry touches the ball less than what amount of times?
Under 15, he has to go.
He's got
okay. So anything 15 or over, he's probably safe.
I was gonna say,
but
12,
under that,
but
it's getting sketchy.
I mean, I think there's like a gray area between 15 and I'm going to go as high as 30 because I'm going to count Lamar's RPO keeps. If he's in that 15 to 30 range, they're still going to be calling for his head if they lose it. Like
that's true.
Because
I guess the fact of the matter is if they lose it, they're going to call for his head either way.
They could be down
Ravens
20 and
fans
they should
either
still
way. I think Ravens fans either way are going to spin it to be like, oh, he handed the ball off too many times, too many like called run plays to Derrick Henry. Like let Lamar throw the ball.
3-time, MVP.
It would be kind of funny if I'm being honest, it would be kind of funny if it went from last year he didn't run the ball enough, and then this year they're mad at him because he ran the ball too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see where they get away from the run early. Their game script obviously is right there too, which is why I'm leaning on the under. But they could just get away from it. Or in those RPO spots, Lamar keeps it because he's pressing.
Yeah.
I think there's a higher variance in this game than people are really thinking about just because the Steelers haven't been playing well and the Ravens have looked great. But this is a pressure spot now. And I think this game stays close. Like the more I talk about it, the more I'm on the Steelers plus 9.5. Like I really think this game stays close.
You know what I think the harsh truth is in last year's game that for their sake, hopefully they learned from? I think they wanted to win by the hands of Lamar.
Yeah.
Like they were so focused on having Lamar be the hero that sent them there that they ended up falling on their sword and losing because they wouldn't get other people involved. And I don't think that comes from Lamar. I don't think Lamar could care any less. He would probably gladly hand the ball off every play as long as they win. But I feel like there's something from, I don't know if it's up top or just the coaching staff where they're like, we're going to give Lamar his chance. This is going to be his time. And it's like, at some point, if you're not getting a lot of production, you got to lean elsewhere. So it does help having Derrick Henry this year because I think it'd be a lot quicker to say, hey, why don't we lean on our Hall of Fame? We'll figure this out next time. So I'm looking forward to this game. I tweeted during the last game, which the score ended up being a little lopsided, but even pretty late into that game, it was still a really good game. And I tweeted, like, give me Ravens Steelers anytime, any place. Like, I'm always going to tune in. It's just so fun.
Yeah. Best
Final predictions for this game.
20-8, 20-17 Steelers. I don't know if they score 2 touchdowns. That's sad.
That's 4 scoring possessions, basically.
Yeah.
Defense is going to get a touchdown.
I would
Ooh.
say
I like that.
Or
I would
special
say-
teams. Defense or special teams scores.
Revolving words.
20. I'll say 20 to 13. I think the Ravens win.
Yeah. Give me 20-16.
That's a good one.
Ravens. But the defense plays football. If they keep it close, like I will not count the Steelers out of this. Gun to my head, I'm picking the Ravens. I will not count the Steelers out. Keep it close. The defense can make a play to change the game late. Like it seems like they always do. So just hang in
I
there.
think if I was a fan of any team but the Steelers, I'm taking the Ravens, but I have to take the Steelers.
No, I respect.
I respect
You gotta
that,
take
yeah.
it.
Obligations.
You got to take them. Yeah. No, I like their chances. So it'll be fun. 8:00 Saturday.
All right, do the answer for the next
also-
game. I'll be right back.
Sure. Also, I love the under in that game. And we briefly brushed that, but like, I think they were over in at least one, if not both matchups this year.
Just one. The second or the first one was like 18-16 or something. It was
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because it's 43.5. I feel like every Ravens Steelers game in the history of time I feel like they've never gone over that. Even though I know they have. I just feel like they don't go over that. And ultimately that's how Peter became a disciple. And that was Bible talk. So Tanner's back. What's up?
Hey, one thing I did want to touch on, this has nothing to do with that game, was that the Lamar Jackson touchdown pass to Isaiah Likely. This has been weighing on me all week.
Okay. The one week one?
No. The one last week where he's like standing wide open in the end zone. Was it like
okay.
Bateman? It was Bateman.
It might have
It
been
was
Bateman.
Bateman.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. I was going to say, I
Bateman.
couldn't remember if it was
Sorry.
Bateman or Likely. Yeah, go for it.
he there was nobody within a 10-yard vicinity
In any direction.
in any direction. It
I
was
feel
a
like the
cool
fans
play, right?
fans were closer to Bateman than
It,
Yeah.
a
it was
defender
cool.
was.
Instead of it being cool, right? It's like the greatest throw we've ever seen. I
Well,
knew this guy was trolling,
Yeah.
but this one guy on
Yeah.
Twitter was like, "Name me another quarterback that makes this throw." I'm like, dude,
Everyone.
Yeah.
everybody's backup quarterback's making that throw.
Well,
Bryce
they were
Young literally
talking-
did it like 2
I
days
was
later.
like, they were talking about. I
One day later, yeah.
saw a tweet about like Bryce Young doing it, about doing like the look away, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Lamar literally did this yesterday." It's like, yeah, but Bryce Young like threw it to someone who was a little bit more covered. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was
Yeah.
a wide open.
Like, yeah, I don't understand that. Why can't they just be like, oh, this is like a really cool looking play,
Great scheme.
or
That's what it
a
is.
times 1,000? Like it was a cool play because Lamar just has that
Yeah.
aura,
Yeah.
for lack of better terms. But
Yeah.
like any quarterback, honestly, I would make the case that 50% of NFL rosters, regardless of position, could
Yeah,
make that throw,
I agree.
if not more.
Everybody's
not
backup
more.
quarterback makes that throw.
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah,
like,
your punter's making that throw, your
I,
kicker's making that
I
throw.
might be able to make that throw.
It's
Yeah,
like
and for
getting-
some reason, this will be a discredit to Lamar. It's not like
and
it was
it's
an easy
not.
throw,
That,
and he
yeah,
made the
I
throw.
want it. I should
I'd
have
be
said
shocked
that
if he missed that throw.
Yeah.
But like,
Yes.
why are we acting like it's like this unheard of throw? I also
Yeah.
saw one Ravens fan. Most of the time, I don't know who these people are to call them out by name, or I would. But they referred to it as a no-look pass. That's not a no-look pass.
No,
I
He
honestly,
threw it.
dude.
Looking at him the whole time,
Yeah,
it was just a good, normal, accurate throw. And then once he saw it hit his hands, or was about to hit his hands, either way, he turned around.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's not like
there
he
you
made
go.
the throw without looking.
It wasn't like the Joe Burrow throw in the pregame where he throws it and spins. Like he threw it, knew he was going to catch it, and then turned around. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
What are we talking about right now? Like I don't.
Yeah, as soon as he let it go, he knew it was accurate, and he knew there was no one within 10 yards of any
It's
direction.
closer-
So he's
it's
like, that's a
closer to
touchdown.
it's closer to the Steph Curry look away shot where he shoots it, sees it's going to go in, and looks away, like turns around. Like,
Yeah, even Curry,
Yeah.
though, is even more because it's just like the successful version
There's
of what Nick
still,
Young tried to do.
there's still a percentage that's not going to go in.
Yeah,
Like and it's getting like what's frustrating me about it is it's like getting to the level of glazing that was happening with Patrick Mahomes 3 years ago. It's like Mahomes did a no look pass and everybody's like, he's the creator of no look passes. Like, no,
Yeah.
Matt Stafford's been doing this for
Been doing
10
it for
years.
years.
Like you
Yeah.
like
yeah.
why are we like hyping up this totally it's not it's not normal, but it's not like 1 in 1 million that it happens. Like
yeah,
Why are we hyping this play up
Like
to
we
something
can
that
be
it's not?
excited. It can look cool, but we can
Yeah.
also like be like, oh, also, but like,
Yeah.
and like the thing with me is like the Bryce Young. Like we can say that the Bryce Young play is cool without discrediting Lamar, but like I feel like you can't. I feel like you can't say something good about
Everything
a
has to be about Lamar.
everything.
It's always about Lamar.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's everything has to be about somebody else too. Like we were just talking about,
Yeah,
and this
that's
is
fair.
a bad example
Not just
about
Lamar.
like Lamar and Derrick Henry, but it's like I was talking to Peyton on Twitter, and I was like, dude, I'm so frustrated
Shout out
with
Peyton.
how much. Yeah, I love Peyton. How much quarterbacks get glazed and then they get torn apart while other people are doing things. Like Jamar Chase just won the Triple Crown after leading it for 9 weeks in a row. No one talked about it. That's insane.
Yeah,
And
youngest
no
Triple
one's
Crown
talking
winner
about
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
insane.
you
Did
look
you
at
guys?
Joe Burrow's stats, they're good. They're like not even top 25 of all time this year.
I
Jamar
saw
Chase
a
just
video. I saw a video from, I believe it was First Take. Shannon Sharp was trying to discredit Jamar Chase's Triple Crown because they didn't make the playoffs. Did you guys see this?
Yes, I saw it.
Oh God.
So funny. So he's talking to Dan Orlowski, and Shannon Sharp says something along the lines of like, "Oh, he got the Triple Crown, but they didn't even make the postseason." He says, "Dan, when was the last time a receiver won the Triple Crown and didn't even make the postseason?" Dan was like writing a note while he said that. He looks up with the smirk on his face, like, I'm about to destroy this guy. He points at him and says, "The last time was your brother in 1992. And Shannon starts fumbling his words, like, "That's not what I meant. I wasn't trying to. You didn't have to bring that." And he was like, "I'm just answering the question you asked, Shannon." That's all it was. It was so funny.
It was awesome.
Oh man, he walked right into it. One of the funniest clips. The grin on Orlowski's face, knowing what's about.
Yeah,
what he's about
that's
to
awesome.
say.
I mean, how many
Oh,
guys
so
have
good.
won the Triple Crown? Like,
I was looking at this. What would you like to guess? I know the number off the top of my head. I'll pull it up so I can get names. But
Is it like 5?
I was looking at it last night.
I'd say 6. I would say Jamar Chase is 6, and the last guy is what's his name?
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Caleb, do you have a guess on?
I said 5.
5. You're both very wrong, but there's an asterisk. Okay, so there's been 17.
Really?
However,
Whoa.
However, now there's not 17 people that have done it. There's one guy in particular that's done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Okay.
But some of these are Mickey Mouse. Okay, so since 1990, there have only been 1, 2, 3, 5. Before that, the first one was in 1932.
Okay, I'm talking. We're
guy-
talking Super Bowl era. Super Bowl era.
We're talking-
I was right.
But also, like, even Super Bowl era, it's like some guy caught the ball 40 times for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns
Yeah.
in 1963, and he won the Triple Crown.
Yeah, so because the first Triple Crown winner had 21 receptions for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
After that, 34 for 536 and 8, 58 for 738 and 10. And then finally in 1942, we get a 1,000-yard receiver Triple Crown winner. He had 74 for 112 and 17.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, so who is it? You said past 1990. Sorry to carry this on too long, but who is it? Is it 5 different guys or 5 different times?
Yeah, I'd like to hear you guys guess. So there was
it's Sterling,
in 19.
it's Sterling Sharp.
Yeah, that gives it away for
Cooper
one of them. But
Kupp.
I'll read off the years and see what you got. We have 1990, 1992, 2005, 2021, and 2024.
2005.
Jerry Rice,
Yeah.
Jerry Rice is 1990.
Sterling Sharp, Jamar Chase,
92.
Cooper Kupp. Who's 2005?
2005.
Dude, Ran.
This was one that surprisingly, like, I asked Jimmy to guess these. If you guys don't know Jimmy, my little brother, he was born in 2000, and he pulled the 2005 Triple Crown winner.
Really?
In half a second. Right
Really?
away. I was like, who do you think's won it so far since 1990? And the first name he said right away was the
Oh,
2005 one.
Randy Moss.
Nope.
Yeah, that was. Was it T.O.? Did T.O. do it? Hey, was he in
No,
the
but he
league
was a
then?
big trash talker.
Was it
For
Ocho?
a hint. Not Ocho.
Chris Carter.
Big trash talk. No.
Andre Johnson?
Nope.
Dude, this is crazy.
Big trash talker.
Known
Can
for
you give us the
talking
stats?
trash.
Well,
Steve Smith.
His stats.
Steve Smith.
Oh, there you go. Caleb got it.
Nice.
Steve Smith.
Yeah.
2005, Steve Smith had, which honestly, no discredit to him, he had a great year, especially when they passed less. But like this feels like a line we would see today. 103 for 1,563 and 12 touchdowns. Like obviously a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
But like
But
I wouldn't have guessed that was a Triple Crown winner.
when they passed less, that was the time to win it because like if your team is passing the most, like
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, us three could probably win the Triple Crown in 1930.
Bro.
yeah,
Just saying.
1932.
Yeah.
21 for 350 and 5 is crazy.
I could try. I could give it my all.
that's crazy because what Brandon Marshall had 18
man.
catches in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
In one
wild.
game, he almost had
Yeah.
that guy's whole
What's
season.
his name? Garrett Wilson had 22 targets this year in one
Yeah.
of his games. So it's
yeah,
like,
like
We didn't see someone hit 1,400 yards as a Triple Crown winner until 1951, and then we didn't see that again until Jerry Rice in 1990.
that's crazy.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
that was some good trivia right there.
Yeah.
Do we want to move to the Bills game?
Yeah, let's move on. Sorry, I didn't mean to
yeah,
spawn
let's
it.
get no, you're fine. Let's get to the Bills game. So we have Bills Broncos Sunday at 1. I don't know what the live line is on the score. The Bills are minus 8.5, and the over under is 46.5. So yeah, I saw a video of Broncos fans chanting "We want Buffalo." So I'm hoping they like show that in the locker room or something. I wish I was the type of fan that just like would get on here and just be blasphemous and be like, "We're gonna blow you out," and da da da. But like I respect playoff teams. They all scare me.
Yeah.
So, like,
And, like,
there's some that scare me more than others. But like you made the playoffs for a reason. So like if the Bills don't show up, they will get taken advantage of.
Yeah,
You
and I
have
think
to show up.
I think with the Broncos is like they have a good defense and they have Pat Surtain, and the Bills don't have that many weapons on offense that are like, oh, they take this one guy away, we know everybody else is going to be able to step up. Like that's scary. Like
Hear me out. In a weird way, not having a true one is helpful against a lockdown corner.
That is true
Because you can just throw away from him. It doesn't matter who he takes away.
Yeah.
You just go to the next guy.
I'd be shocked if he gets 1 or 2 targets on his side.
My biggest fear when it comes to their defense is they can rush the passer without blitzing. So Josh is very efficient against the blitz, very, very good against the blitz. Because if you're going to use linebackers to get after him, he's going to find the holes in the defense. But when you can get to the passer without using them, it's going to make it – he's going to have a hard day if we can't establish the run. It's not to say he won't play well, but the game's not going to come easy to him, I don't think. It's going to be tough with that pass rush. Because our O-line is credited as one of the best O-lines. They are good, but Josh makes them look good, getting rid of the ball and avoiding sacks. So we're in for a tough matchup with that. I'm hoping we can get the run going early, just lean on James Cook and just kind of build off of that, maybe get some play action working in. But it's going to be interesting. Bo Nix, I really wish, as much as I never got my ticket to get on the train.
I'm on the
so
train.
I'm still on the other side.
The train. Ready to bow.
I do wish I got to watch Bo Nix playing against a team I wouldn't mind them beating because he would be fun to root for.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
304 touchdowns against the Chiefs. I know it was like primarily backups, but that's an insane game.
very much against.
I mean, to come out and
backups.
start as hot as you do when the game still seems to matter a bit is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he played great, but like you said, it was mostly backups.
Yeah,
Backups who were playing in a game that didn't matter.
But the thing is,
versus him playing with his life on the line, season
Yeah.
on the line.
But his season, was it still on the line? Like they needed to win that game.
They had to win, yeah. That's what I was
Whatever,
saying. Like
Yeah,
the game
so-
started 0-0. He knew he had to win. He came out, went 17 for 17, 185,
Yeah.
50 more on the ground. Like that's
He
just
played
an elite-
phenomenal, but
Yeah, that's an elite mentality by yourself. Doesn't matter who's lining
Yeah.
up against you. It's like he didn't fold.
yeah,
And
I don't want
they're-
to sound like I'm discrediting.
And they're hot going into the playoffs. Like I don't think they're going to beat the Bills, but I think they'll give them a tougher.
Kinda. Before that game, they lost 2 or 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Didn't look very good.
Yeah, but like a get right game against some backups will help you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Will, like,
they
skyrocket
are
your
also
confidence.
2-5 against playoff teams. One of those wins being that win against the Chiefs
Yeah.
backups, so they could easily be 1-6.
Yeah.
If it makes them feel any better, the Bills are 2-3 against playoff teams.
To be
But
fair,
those
they
3
could be
losses
3 and 4
did win their division.
as well. They almost beat the Chiefs the first time, and the field goal got blocked from 40 yards out. So
Yeah.
Sure.
we could go one way or the other. They played well against the Chargers, just didn't finish it. So I think the Bills win this game. I think they probably win it pretty handily, which kills me personally because I love Bo Nix. He's still a rookie. He's traveling to Buffalo. Cold game. No snow predicted at the moment, but I think the Bills probably win this by. I think they cover 8.5. I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I would certainly like to think so.
Yeah. And I think
I'm seeing for Orchard Park on Sunday. I am seeing some snow, but this is just on Google.
Watch out. I was supposed to be the weather guy.
I don't know
what happened? Tanner texted us today and said, I'm bringing all the weather.
You're probably right, because Google weather isn't usually very good.
I'm seeing 28 degrees, 13% chance of snow. Obviously, we're recording this on Tuesday, so people know. So we're almost a week away. You don't actually know what's going to happen.
Yeah, if I move it to noon, we're looking at, on mine, it's only saying 20% chance.
Yeah.
So, probably not going to be any snow.
And there's probably
be cold, but
always a 20% chance of snow in Buffalo this time of year.
Get some lake effect.
And who's to say that it would even benefit the Bills? Like, Denver's from the cold as well. So.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's any benefit to either team. If
anything, any kind of like wild card effect on the game benefits the underdog in general.
Because it changes.
It just throws a wrench into the game, you know? So, excited for it. Packers, Eagles. Eagles are minus 4.5 hosting. We have over under 44.5. This is at 4:30 on Sunday. Packers were my preseason pick to actually win the Super Bowl, let alone come out of the NFC. Mm-hmm. They're kind of sputtering into the playoffs here.
Yeah.
Which worries me because I'm not going to switch up my pick. I'm going to have them coming out of the NFC, stick with it. But they're going to have to get it together if they do that. I think they're capable, but the way they've played recently, I would not bet on that team.
Is Jalen Hurts going to play?
I think so, but
he's still questionable.
He's still in protocol.
I think he practiced today, and so the big question will be tomorrow when he wakes up. So when you're coming out of concussion protocol, you got to practice and then see how you feel the next morning. I think he's going to play. And if Christian Watson was playing, I would hit 4.5. With no Christian Watson, I think this is a tough game for the Packers to stretch the game vertically at that point. I think this game probably stays close, but I think the Eagles end up winning, which sucks because I have a lot of futures on the Super Bowl, and a lot of my teams are playing against each other. So, not good.
They did cut Ian Book today. The Eagles did.
Yeah.
Well, that's a positive. Anytime you get Ian Book off your team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Close the book.
No, obviously a good sign pointing towards Hurts playing.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Hurts, and I want to see all the teams healthy. So I do want him to play. There is part of me that it would be funny to see the Eagles fans' conspiracies about the NFL not letting him play because they don't want the Eagles to win if he doesn't play.
But it would also
because I know they would go that route. They just don't want us to win, so they're holding him out. He's fine.
Granted, it would make me sick, but if the Eagles went to another Super Bowl and won it with a backup quarterback in Kenny Pickett,
that would be crazy.
It would make me sick.
Kenny Pickett Super Bowl run.
No, we gotta get Tanner McKee in there, dude.
Could you imagine a Kenny Pickett statue next to Nick Foles?
That would be incredible. Incredible.
But yeah,
statue of him doing that play from a couple weeks ago where he just passed the ball and never let go.
Yeah. Oh man, what a classic! But yeah, I like the Eagles in this one. I think the Eagles, if they can get healthy, are a very scary team in the playoffs this year. Obviously, it's not a hot take, but yeah, I think with Saquon running the ball as well as he has been, and getting a week off to rest his legs will be good.
Yeah, so I like the Eagles spread here from a gambling standpoint. From a what I picked before the season started standpoint, I like Green Bay. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing both sides. So I can't be wrong, and people will respect my opinion because I'm on both sides of it, which
Yeah.
is a very cool and
I think you
respectable
should
thing
make
to
a
do.
TikTok tonight, and then you should make a fake TikTok of you saying preseason that they were going to win, and say, "Well, they're in the playoffs; they've got a chance." And then
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're there on both sides, separate them by like 2 days, and
Yeah.
nobody's going to know.
No.
yeah, that's the way to play it right there.
Yeah. Perfect. But yeah, as a Packers owner, I do want the Packers to win, but I just think the Eagles are too good.
Same.
Do you get any kickback if they win the Super Bowl or anything?
I get.
We have
I
the
think-
opportunity to purchase a Super Bowl ring,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
which I will not be doing, but
Yeah.
it can
I'll
be
take I might take a loan out on it.
purchased. Honestly, I don't even think it's like the Super Bowl ring. I think you get the opportunity to purchase like an official replica,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as opposed to like a Chinese like replica, an actual
Yeah.
certified replica. And they're still expensive. I think they're still like thousands of dollars, but like obviously the Super Bowl rings are hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I will be
So-
buying a Chinese replica if the Packers
Oh
win.
yeah, Wish or DHgate, whoever's got them, I will absolutely be buying. I'm a Super Bowl champion if they win. So
I am. Yeah, I will.
You're
I
still
will.
No
an
one's
owner.
taking that
Nobody
from
can
me.
take that away from you.
Yeah, I'm an owner. Yeah, I will be a.
yeah. They will not be taking it away.
If
from
if
us.
if they win the Super Bowl this year, we will go to the draft and
we're going to
we
the
will
draft and win the
celebrate.
Super Bowl in April. Yeah,
We will celebrate.
100%.
Commanders Bucks. I think this might be the best game of the weekend.
This is gonna be a great game. This is a great matchup. Over under 50.5. The Bucks are favored by 3 and hosting, which means this would be
A pick 'em.
if I'm using what Tanner taught us earlier. This would be a pick 'em if it was in
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah.
Um,
The Bucks won their Week 1 matchup, but that's Jaden Daniels' first game. So I mean, he's come so far since then.
He's so good.
He's
Like
so good.
his hype started going way up early, and then he hit a little bit of a wall. And I feel like the Jaden Daniels train kind of slowed down a little bit. But like, if you look at his numbers, like he's had such a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, he hit a
So
wall
electric.
too because he broke his ribs and played.
Yeah,
couldn't
that certainly
run. And so
doesn't help. Yeah, does not help at all.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun game.
I like the Commanders in this game. Plus
I
3.
do
I like
too.
them outright. I like them outright.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be on the other side. I like the Bucks. This feels like a Baker Mayfield legacy game
Yeah.
where they win by probably. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like they win by 10. I don't know why
Okay.
I have that feeling. Just a gut feeling. No statistics behind it. I think the Bucks win this game.
I wouldn't
Is
be
that
upset.
because
I like Baker.
you're-
I like the Bucks.
Is this because you're looking at the uniforms and not like the teams themselves? Because I feel like if I like took just looking at the uniforms, the Commanders no chance to win this game. But if you like,
That's fair.
Oh, no,
No,
Bucks have way
I mean,
crispier
I like the
uniforms.
Commanders. I have a lot of like close friends that are Commanders fans, so I don't really like. I get what you're saying, but no, because Jaden
Okay.
Daniels is a baller. Like they put up that meme of him where he was like sitting on the sidelines, like super calm. They're like, this guy looks bored and he plays in 1-score games all year.
yeah,
I like the Buccaneers better as a team. I love Mike Evans. K. Dottins looked very good. Bucky Irving, they finally, after Rashad White fumbled the ball against the Cowboys, they're like, okay, this guy's fucking done. Give the ball to Bucky Irving. Like, the Buccaneers to me are sneaky,
Yeah.
a sneaky team, and I think they beat the Commanders. I think the Commanders are probably a year away, a couple more big pieces away to me
Yeah.
personally.
they need some
Um,
work on defense.
Yeah, and on the road, I like Tampa Bay.
Fair.
We
I don't
do
think
we do
Go ahead,
get
sorry.
probably the best matchup of the week too with Lattimore versus Mike Evans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those
There has to be
guys
a fight.
hate each other.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
It's gonna
They're
be
always
beautiful.
they fight every single game.
It's gonna be awesome. No, yeah, I see your point about why the Bucks would win. Some people are saying the Bucks are NFC South merchants and get most of their wins from the NFC South.
They said the same thing about the Seahawks, and then Marshawn Lynch went crazy.
That is true. So maybe Bucky
Yeah.
Irving will have a beast quake
That'd
run
be awesome.
this week.
I'm betting it.
Let's go. All right, well, that leaves one more game. That's Monday night. We have Sam Darnold and the Vikings heading to LA to take on Matt Stafford and the Rams. The Vikings are favored by 1.5, and it's the over/under is 47.5. This was the game earlier this season, the face mask game, where they turned Sam Darnold's head completely around and didn't call it. So obviously that was a close game. A lot of Vikings fans would feel it should have went their way because of that. It was a bad call, bad no call. What are you guys thinking going into this Monday night matchup?
I'm just looking at this is a big week for Tanner's guys.
Yeah.
He's got Bo Nix and Sam Darnold playing.
See, and here's the thing, right? I have a lot of money on the Bills to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I also have a lot of money on the Rams to make the Super Bowl. So now my two guys that I've supported all year are going against my money.
Yeah.
Somebody
say that's a win-win.
One would say it's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
In my mind, I feel like it's a lose-lose. I think last week's game is not indicative for the Vikings on who they are. They just didn't take the points when they were there. At one point, they had a chance to kick like 2 or 3 field goals in a row, and they kept going for it. And like, I get the analytics and all of that, and you're going to live by it and you're going to die by it. But in those close, like, playoff game type deals, like you're playing for the 1 seed, take the field goals. Like, you can kick the field goal. Your defense is playing pretty well, but you continue to give up on fourth. Not give up, but you don't get the 4th down. Your defense is back out there again. And your defense is getting worn down. Jahmyr Gibbs goes for 4 touchdowns, which was insane. But the game wasn't, the final score. I think it was a 1-possession game, and they couldn't get their long passes off, which I think is what this game, for me, comes down to. Are the Rams able to generate enough pressure with no blitzing like we talked about with Josh Allen? Is Jared Verse able to get into the backfield with no help? I think that he may be on some instances, but I think for the most part, I think the Vikings are going to have that time to allow their plays to develop, which they've been relying on all year long.
Yeah.
And I think the Vikings come out of this a winner, which sucks. But I think the Vikings win this game, and it will set up for a really good divisional round game.
Potentially. I mean, depends on if one of the other wild card teams wins.
I think even if they do, right? Like, so say the Commanders win, or even the Packers beat the Eagles. It's like the Packers are a really good team. I talked about a few weeks ago. Like at that point, they'd only lost to the Eagles, the Vikings, and the Lions. Yeah. It's like that's a good team. They just haven't been great in those moments. Yeah. But regardless of how it goes in the NFC, those divisional round games, to me, I'm so excited for.
Yeah, true. I think it should be fun. I think both sides, like, it doesn't matter who makes it out. Like, it could be good games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say about, your guys and potentially both of them going home round 1. I think whatever happens, you've already won. Your guys are both starting in playoff games.
Yeah,
I think if you didn't know
both,
QBs,
aren't they both in the Pro Bowl? Like they both.
Sounds right.
It's possible.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that might be right.
I think they're both right. Pro Bowlers.
I mean, they're my guys, right? Like I'm gonna ride for these guys. Especially Sam Darnold. I fucking love Sam. Like I would do if there's one team outside of the Chargers, bolt up. I mean, I'm rooting for the Vikings. Like Vikings Chargers Super Bowl would be like awesome. That would be great for me. So I love those guys. Nice. So the Vikings just haven't seemed to put it all together when it matters the most. Like I was talking about the Lions game, and it's just like, will Kevin O'Connell learn from those mistakes?
Bo Nix is not a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I was trying to confirm Darnold. I believe.
Well, I mean, Pro Bowl votes don't matter, dude.
No.
Garrett Wilson isn't a Pro Bowler,
immediately switch.
Which is insane.
Immediately switch.
Oh,
I do agree. The Pro Bowl is a joke.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
I think it's more so if you do make the Pro Bowl, it's like, oh, cool, we made a Pro Bowl. But I don't hold it against you if you don't make it. Because it's such a joke.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and who would even go watch the Pro Bowl in person? Like, why would anybody do that?
Yeah,
They're
who would
just
ever?
a bunch of field games. Like
See
even if you like lived in like close to Orlando, why would you waste money to go to that?
I went in there one time when we were on vacation. They were doing
I went to the Pro Bowl
stuff.
last year, Tanner.
That's what I figured.
Um,
That's what it seemed.
The one year when they were there, I was when we were on vacation, and I stopped in there to the ESPN World of Sports. I went into the shop, and they were selling Devontae Adams jerseys that were wrong. Like it was number 18 Adams Packers. I'm like, how are you? This is the NFL. Like I'm buying these directly from
Yeah,
the NFL, and you can't even get these right. I had a
they
whole
got
rack
them
of
from
them.
DHgate too, actually.
Yeah, I wanted to like. I really wish I would have went up to them and be like, will you sell me this for like next to nothing?
Who's
No
this
one's gonna
guy?
buy this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
show
this
them a
guy?
picture and be like, the number's wrong. Let me
Yeah.
take this off your hands. 'Cause
One off
as
there,
a
buddy.
as a collector of jerseys, I would love to have an official jersey from the NFL that they just got one of their best receivers in football number wrong.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Oh man, but that wraps up this week's games. It is playoff time, boys.
Yeah.
They have arrived.
Yeah.
Do you have anything on any of the other the coaching carousel? Any of that stuff going on with football right now?
No, I think the guys that we expected to get fired have been fired. We're still waiting on Mike McCarthy. Did you see?
Now he has a job.
Did you see? Jerry Jones said that he didn't know that Cooper Rush had like a incentive to get $500,000. So he he didn't play. If he would have played majority of the snaps in Week 18, he would have had like 55% of the snaps in the year, and he didn't. Like he got pulled. Did he get pulled or just not start?
I think he should prove that and give it to him anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
if
my
you
bad.
really mean that,
Yeah.
I didn't know, I would have let him play. Then give it to him.
Yeah.
Do you guys also
Somebody
see
worry
that the Bears requested to interview McCarthy, and it's been 2 days, and the Cowboys haven't even responded?
That's crazy.
And people are like, "What are you guys like, one way or the other?" And McCarthy, I don't think is signed up to be their coach next year. I was reading if they wait until
he's a
January
free agent.
14th or something like that, then they can just interview him as a free agent head coach. But
Yeah.
it's like, why? What is happening? I don't think Jerry Jones is there. I think he's asleep.
Yeah.
It's like Joe
He
Biden.
is asleep. He did, the Biden of owners. He's like, he did a spot on some show with like, I think John Hamm, and he did like this monologue on it, and everyone was like, yo, Jerry should have been in Hollywood this whole time. And I saw this clip late at night, and then the next day, I woke up and literally thought that I dreamt it. I'm like, well, that was a weird dream. I had a dream that Jerry Jones was in a movie or TV show with John Hamm. And then I saw it on Twitter again, and I was like, oh, shoot, that was not a dream. He was. So I don't know what it was. I don't know what he was in with them. But
a reporter asked him, like, will you ever give up the like GM role to somebody? He's like, no, I bought this team so I could be the GM. Like,
I respect it. It's so wrong. It's the wrong answer, but I would probably do the same thing.
Oh,
and I'll just
too.
keep getting it wrong over and over. I would like to think at some point I'd be like, I'll be involved, but I am going to bring in an actual GM. But it's easy to say when you're not.
But like,
Filthy Rich
also
and
at
no
some
enforcement.
point, you're gonna get right.
Yeah.
Right. Like the
You
clock,
think.
broken clock is always right twice a day. It's like
Yeah.
he got right when he picked Zeke, and they built an incredible offensive line. Like I remember when they drafted Zach Martin, everyone was like, "What a terrible pick." Got lucky. I feel like it's about to happen again. If I'm being honest, they're going to take Ashton Genty. Everybody's going to say you have too many holes. They're going to win 12 games next year, and he's going to look like a genius again.
Yeah.
Like there's some, and honestly, like you said, I would do the same exact thing. Imagine you bought a team so you could run it, and you've been able to do that your whole life. Like you're living the dream every single day, and then on top of it, you've created the biggest brand in football during that time.
Who of us wouldn't?
Seriously, who I would like to speak with somebody honestly that would be like, yeah, I would hand over the reins. No, you wouldn't.
That's like playing Madden, picking to be an owner and only deciding the prices of like concessions.
The hot dogs, exactly.
Yeah, like no, I go in there, I make trades, I cut players, I choose a place.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I would bring in a GM, and it would be the worst gig of that GM's life because everything that went wrong, I'd blame on him, and everything that went good would be me. That'd be awesome. Yeah, and then guess what? We draft the wrong guy.
He's doing
you draft the
better
wrong
than
guy,
I
I'm
would
gonna
have.
act like I'm not saying it was Tanner's fault. They'll be like, "Oh, what do you think about that pick? That was a bust. You guys have already cut him after 1 year." I'd be like, "Well, some people in the room thought that was a good pick.
We were really high on
Can't
him.
necessarily say that I was involved there, but we bring people in to do a job, and,
That's
and
cray,
sometimes
bro.
they're wrong."
He
Yeah,
would throw
he's
us.
fine.
He would throw us
Just
under
pass
the
it on.
bus.
I'm the
so
owner,
fast.
dude. Get out.
No.
Caleb,
I
you're
would,
up. You're moving
all right,
on.
I would
to
just
the
pass.
GM.
I would just pass. That's what I'm saying, though. As an owner, I'd bring someone in and just pass the blame onto them when the picks go wrong,
Oh.
and they would hate it.
And
It'd be
then
disaster.
you draft Zeke, and he ends up being really good. You're like, yeah, that was all me. Like I
That
saw
was
him. Yeah, I saw him.
All
at
my
Ohio
guys,
State.
they hated him, and I love this kid.
Yep.
Oh man. But yeah, I think
Didn't he
that's
want
all
to
I
draft?
have.
Wasn't he like banging the table for Johnny Manziel and his son like
Yes.
Yeah.
shredded the draft ticket or something and
Yeah.
made them draft someone else?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying, who knows, right? Butterfly effect. He doesn't end up in Cleveland.
Maybe
Yeah,
he does
who
well
knows?
in Dallas.
Maybe they.
We'll never know.
Nah, I don't know.
Nah,
I feel like he was too far
He
gone.
still would have been shit.
All right, well, I think that's the show. Been yapping for about an hour.
Dang, nobody wanted to talk about college football. That's cool.
That's crazy.
Nope.
Yeah, I want to talk college football.
No, I'm kidding. I do too. I just forgot we were going to do that.
I was gonna say
Um,
your Ohio State Buckeyes had a huge win last week.
They did. They did. Honestly, that was crazy because I think, like everyone else, I expected it to be a close game, similar to the first one. Oh, it'll probably come down to the last drive, whoever has the ball last. And boy, was it not. I mean,
It
we were up
was not.
34-0 by halftime. Well, granted, they scored right before the half, but like, just wasn't even close instantly. Before most people even turned the game on, Ohio State was already up by a score.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was finishing up the Texas game.
Which was incredible.
And yeah, that was an awesome game.
Cam
And
Scott
Ohio
was-
State's just, man, I really don't want to jinx us, but I don't see how we don't.
Jinx
how we
it,
get stopped.
please.
I don't see how we lose. We're gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're so
They're-
good.
they're good.
Will
They're-
Howard.
They're the
Will
scariest
Howard should
team.
be pissed. He should be pissed off. He's like, why are we trying to be something we're not all season? Why didn't we just feed Jeremiah Smith this whole time, and then I would be a first round pick?
Dude,
I thought you were
That's
saying
probably
you should
what
be
he said.
pissed because that one guard wouldn't let him on the float.
Oh,
would
that
be
was
pissed
crazy.
about
Oh, I would.
that.
Yeah,
Guard
he
should
should
have
be
gotten
mad
him
about
stood
that
where
too.
Will Howard was.
That's the
Yeah.
Get off the float,
would not
man.
let him on the stage.
Yeah. And if you're one of Will Howard's teammates, someone's got. It makes me wonder about does he not have the locker room or something?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy to bring that up.
I mean,
but
the
like,
one guy was laughing at him, and I'm not the best at identifying people. Don't know who the fuck that guy was. Why is that big
Yeah.
fat defensive lineman laughing at the star quarterback? I don't even know you, bro. Get off the float.
Because it's kind of funny.
It is funny.
Like if we were say we're on a team together and Luke's the starting quarterback and me and you were just like
naturally.
backups or like whatever and we end up being on the float. We were clowning
Luke's
him
the
entire
owner,
time.
and we're the AGMs, and we don't let Luke onto the float.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is great. Like someone's got to hop down so that
Yeah.
he can get on.
But
Like,
no, there's too many people.
Or just let him on. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. What's a float gonna break down? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're at capacity though, that guard doesn't want to be. The
Then you
reason
get off.
The
why.
guard
get
can
off.
get off of the float. That's what made
Maybe
me
he
so
can't
angry.
though. Maybe he's
Yes,
not
he
allowed.
can. What's he gonna do up there?
We don't know his job description. He might not be allowed. They might have told him, "Hey,
No,
you're
I'm
going to
sure
stand right
that-
here. Don't go over the limit and do not move."
100%. I'm sure that's what was said. But then you watch the video, and it's like, if I was his boss, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. You had to get down. Like the quarterback. It's not like he let some random.
Hey, and that's why you're the AGM and Luke's the owner. So
I guess
how
whatever.
about you
Well,
sit in your
I'm
place?
thinking, someone's
Hook 'em,
gotta,
dude.
you know,
Hook 'em. We're all.
someone's got to
Texas
account
this week,
for the
baby.
insurance claims and things like that. You know, this is why I'm the owner. This is how this is how it works.
This is a good quarterfinal. I was disappointed in Oregon's performance. I have
Yeah.
two futures out in college football. One is now dead. First one being Penn State versus Oregon, national championship. Dead. And the second one being Texas versus Oregon in the national championship. And I thought at this moment my futures would just be
Texas versus Oregon?
Texas versus Penn State.
Yeah, let's get
And
it.
I
Let's get it.
thought my futures would just be Penn State having to beat Notre Dame. And now it's Penn State beating Notre Dame as the underdog and Texas beating Ohio State. So Not looking great.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We're going to hang in there. Drew Aller's a baller. I hope to God he reverses course and declares for the draft, which I think honestly is possible.
I want him back next year.
Bold prediction,
I think he might.
No, bold prediction, he does declare. Second bold prediction, he goes number 1 overall in this draft.
Interesting. I mean, if he goes
I
and
like
wins
it.
a national championship,
He is
It's
the
hard
best
to-
quarterback prospect in college football right now.
I don't think he will declare unless I saw a report that said if he's like a top 3 pick, he might. If he feels
He
confident.
would be a top 3 pick.
Yeah,
in
I think
my
he
head,
would be
he'd
too.
be a top 3 pick.
he's a baller.
And the Giants would ruin him. It would be unfortunate.
Jet straight up, baby. Let's go. Drew Aller season.
I would love that. But yeah, I'm excited for I think Penn State, they also play like a physical, if they play a physical brand of football, like Georgia wasn't that physical against Notre Dame and they lost.
Yeah.
And I think the defense for Penn State is very physical. And I think they're going to have to do some crazy stuff on offense as well because the Notre Dame defense is good, but they have the weapons to have a tight end throw a pass. I think both games are going to be really good and really fun. And I will be at a rehearsal dinner for a wedding during the Penn State
Why do
game.
you have friends, bro?
I know.
Why have friends?
And then I will be at the wedding on Friday when Ohio State and Texas are playing.
Man.
Who has a wedding on a Friday? Who is this guy?
Yeah, probably someone who's trying to save money so they can get a venue on a Friday, not a Saturday.
That's fair. All right, that's fair. That's fair. That's
Does he listen to the show?
Maybe.
I was going to shout
I
out.
take all
Shout
the
out to
things
the
I
guy
said
Caleb's
back.
going to his wedding.
Shout
Shout
out,
out to the guy. Whatever money you're saving right now, sponsor the show, bro. Just
Yeah, come on, Bo.
Yes.
It's gonna pay
There you
off.
go.
Oh, his
Bo?
name is Bo.
Oh.
Dude, I've been a Bo Lever all year long. Come on.
I'll show him
we
this.
we
I'll show him this
believe
clip.
in this wedding. We believe in this marriage.
Yes, we do.
This is
and
a good time to do
believe
it.
His-
Penn State's gonna beat
His
them.
name,
You believe in
his
saving
name has
money.
nothing to do with Bo. His dad just thought that his last name's Ivy. He thought that Bo Ivy was a cool name for an athlete. So he was
I
like,
An athlete.
he ran track, but he's not but he's the fourth. He's Franklin Ivy the fourth. So he was like, I don't want him to be Little Frank. I'm gonna call him Bo because I can.
That's cool. All right, I respect
Why
that.
not?
I respect that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's college football, and
Yeah.
we mentioned last week on Pigeons. Yeah, and at Pigeons we talked about our bingo card, and Elon Musk might be buying a soccer team.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We might check off
So-
one of the bingo.
Technically
Early,
speaking,
we might check it off early.
his son, Errol, which I didn't even know. I didn't know he had a kid over 3 years old.
Yeah.
He has
But
like
he said
12.
his son wants to buy Liverpool.
Okay, but
Um,
whose money is it going to be?
Well, my thought would
interesting.
be that even if it's an inheritance and Errol is the owner,
Yeah.
Elon Musk, I would give you a chip for that bingo card.
Yeah.
I think that would count.
Yeah.
Because we didn't say, I don't think the card says he becomes the owner of a team. It said
Yeah.
he buys a team.
Yeah.
I think, and
So
he
if he
would
buys
be
it for
buying
his
the-
son-
yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I don't think Liverpool sells. They haven't
For enough money, they will.
for a while. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think it's very intriguing that you guys put that on your bingo card, and then literally 3 days later, it was like Elon Musk wants to buy
Shout out
Liverpool.
to
Which,
Caleb.
for everybody that doesn't know, I'm a huge soccer fan. Liverpool is top of the league in England right now. They're top of the Champions League as well. Group stages, they are one of, if not the best teams in Europe right now, which would put them as one of those teams in the world. So to buy that team would be an incredible buy. It's not like
That's
he's
also-
buying a lower league
Yeah.
team.
I was gonna say, that's
Liverpool-
crazy because I feel like teams sell when they're bad. Like every team ever has sold when they're at their lowest.
bad or their investment's gone. But soccer is a little different, where they sometimes, because there isn't salary cap and stuff like that, it's like, can the team get better by the owner? Yes, they
Yeah.
usually sell because the owners usually care about the team more than they care about the money. So they're like, if I sell this team and they become really good, this is still my home team. So
Well, there was
I-
that one team a few years back who the guy got in trouble and he had to give it to his ex-wife, right?
Oh, yeah. And then she hired that college football coach.
Yeah,
Took
yeah,
the
and
team. That was a cool story.
That was a cool
it's a
story.
really cool
I remember
story.
that. I enjoyed keeping up with it.
What he's there for? Like, 4 seasons, maybe a 5th.
Something like that.
Possible.
No, but it's funny because I don't know if you put that on the bingo card for the reasons that I was thinking. Like when you said that, I was thinking like, yeah, Elon definitely would buy a sports team to try to get people to think he's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And we might get the wrong formula and the right answer. He might just buy it for his son.
I think
well, it's probably so his son thinks he's cool.
that's true.
That's true.
I will say, like, Premier League soccer in America, that and Formula One are the fastest growing
They're on the
sports in
rise.
America. So
And
I would
pickleball.
argue that buying a Premier League team at this moment is cooler than buying an NBA team, an NHL team, any team other than an NFL team. So
Yeah.
in America, I think you guys still have the right formula. I think he wants to be cool. Everybody's on the Premier League. He wants to be niche because that's why some people have started watching it. So I think you guys got it. You got to figure it out. Let's just hope the sale goes through.
Yeah, would love to see it.
Love to check that off the card. Then we just need Alien Harambe, and we'll have 3 to go. So
Oh my god!
we're almost there.
Almost
there.
Well, yeah.
I did want
you? Oh,
No, go ahead. Ask him.
I was going to ask if he was back up twitching a good amount.
I've
just every
streamed
once in a while.
twice, but not a ton.
Okay.
It's just kind of hard to fit into my schedule, and then I'm going to Vegas, so I won't stream. So
Yeah.
when I get back, I'm going to try to find a schedule that works best for me because I want to have a consistent schedule, whether it's after work or before work or something like that. But I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's fun to sit there, and I play games already. So
Yeah. Give Tenacious of Stan a follow and a subscription on Twitch. Not financial advice.
And I've been talking about Vegas a lot, guys. I am going to take over the Yelling at Sports accounts.
Well, it's just yelling. It's just
It's still just yelling. We haven't really separated it yet.
Okay, cool.
I don't
Unless
know
you-
if
unless you wanna
that,
make
but
one.
Main account. I didn't
just been
expect these guys to
conglomerate.
give me the keys to the.
We're gonna give you the
thing
keys
here.
to Maine,
But
unless you want to create a sub account.
yeah, maybe I don't know.
But right now
We'll
we
see,
would just do keys to the main.
yeah, I will be posting my bets this weekend. There'll be just probably football, some hockey, some baseball, or some basketball, not baseball. Bets. Yeah, so stay
Baseball
tuned for
bets.
that. I'm super excited about
Baseball
it. Maybe
in
some baseball
January.
futures. Who knows?
Yeah.
Speaking of bets, me and Jimmy performed a heist on FanDuel last night. It was electric. Thought I'd let the people know about it. So Jimmy sent me this bet, and I tailed it. And we cashed. It was plus 19,200.
That's awesome.
Hayward Highsmith over 5.5. Terry Rozier 15 plus. Malik Monk 20 plus. Tyler Hero 25 plus. DeMar DeRozan 25 plus. Malik Monk 4 plus rebounds, and Domantas Sabonis 14 plus rebounds. We hit this in double overtime. It was one of the most incredible covers I've ever been
That's
a part of.
awesome. Yeah,
Just
that's a good cover.
To get 2 OTs to get that.
Yeah.
So
I'll
that
be
was
honest.
cool.
I was like falling asleep when I got the text last night and like rolled over and saw. I was like, oh, sick, and then like put my phone down and fell back asleep. And I was like, man, I should have. I woke up and was like, oh, I love that. But I was like, man, I should have gave Lucas flowers last night, but I was too tired.
Yeah, Jimmy. Give Jimmy his flowers.
Yeah.
I just tailed him.
Let's go, Jimbo.
Jimmy.
Just tailed him. Shout out
Yeah.
Jim Bob.
Man.
One last thing before we go. Tanner, did you happen to listen to the quiz portion of our last Yelling at Pigeons episode?
I did not. No.
Okay.
Do you want
I
to
was
quiz
just
me?
wondering. No, just wondering. We needed your help with something. And,
Oh, sorry.
weren't-
No, I
weren't there
haven't
to-
yet. But what is it?
you weren't
I'll
there
help.
to-
Yeah, what was the-
I wouldn't even commit to that.
What was the question?
Well, there may have been something that led to you saying we're going to need Tanner for that because
Yeah.
we're a person short. Do you remember? You picking up?
Yeah.
Dude,
One
you
of the
guys can't-
answers, one of the multiple choice answers to one of the questions was Eiffel Tower, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do Eiffel Tower." And Caleb was like, "Okay," and I was like, "Actually, I don't know about that." And it took
Yeah.
Caleb like a minute to realize why I was laughing, and
Sus.
then he was like, "Oh yeah, we're actually one short. We would need Tanner for that."
Oh, no, dude. I don't want to be the bridge.
Oh man.
Disgusting.
Oh, good times, good times. Oh man, it was so funny because Caleb's like, "Why are you laughing?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Just do the next question."
Yeah.
And then it hit him.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
usually like it would have been like I thought that I had said something, but it was you who had said something, and I didn't catch it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yo,
shout out to the Eiffel Tower.
outside of the podcast, I don't know if you can cut this out. You guys want to play some Warzone or what?
We still have to record another episode tonight.
Yeah, we're getting ready to do Yap, and then I have to pack.
Yeah, I have to pack. I have to finish laundry.
All right.
If I happen to have
Warzone anyway.
I have to be.
I doubt I'll have time, but if for some reason later on I'm available, I'll hit you up.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That was the show. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll
guys.
talk to you guys next week. Peace.